wanted to talk about a few things this morning: prepping, morality, honor, and respect. Prepping. Why do I prepare? Well, there's a simple answer to that question. In the Bible, it says in 1 Timothy 5:8, "He who provideth not for his own, especially in his own household, have denied thy faith, and is worse than an unbeliever." Now, there's a lot of legitimate reasons to prep. You know, uh, natural disasters, terrorist attacks, economic collapse, EMPs, even things as simple as unemployment. But each one of those specific circumstances, you can make excuses for. You can ask questions about or discredit. And that's why they don't justify prepping to me. To me, what justifies prepping is I am the man of my house. It's my responsibility to provide for my family. You can make excuses for all the other circumstances, but what if your daughter or your wife or your son or your mother come to you hungry or come to you in need of something and you have no answer for them? It can't work like that for me. That justifies prepping for me. Now, if you want to call preppers crazy, go right ahead. But I'll enjoy the security of knowing that I've put things back to provide for my family. So I have an answer for them if they ever come to me hungry or in need of something. Now, morality. Morality is your character, right? Your manners, how you conduct yourself, your thoughts, your intentions. And today we live in a society of sex and violence and controversy and drugs and the shock factor. And it's so hard in today's society to question yourself. Question, what am I doing? Everything's so fast, and all of the electronic devices, and everything can, be on top of you before you even realize it, before you even have a chance to consider your actions, reflect on your behavior and your thoughts, or your conduct, your morality, who you are as a person. And that's kind of leads into honor. Honor is a man who holds himself, or a woman, who holds themselves to a very high standard of integrity, who can be relied on, who will be fair, who can be credited, and who takes responsibility and ownership in their actions and their behavior. And that there's very little honor left in this country. I admire people who hold themselves in an honorable manner, who consider their actions, their thoughts, their behavior, who make the necessary changes to be a man of honor. And it's very important that if you have lived a life of sex, drugs, rock and roll, the shock value, shock factor, and you were fooled into thinking that it was so cool and, you know, because it's what everybody was doing, it's very important that you make the necessary changes. You know, because nobody is responsible for yourself other than you. Ultimately, you determine your actions. Now let's talk about respect. You know, for some reason, this country has been turned upside down. You know, a lot of times we make fun of our elders, you know, because of the outcomes of a long life. You know, they may be a little slower, or they might be forgetful. But one thing we have to remember is that there's just a wealth of knowledge and wisdom provided to us by our elders. So when you'd rather make fun of them than listen to them, you'd rather run off, go play games, and than to sit down and talk to them, speak with them, let them give you advice, let them talk to you, you're missing out on a wealth of knowledge and experience. Our country is fooled into thinking that there's these brand new ideas that, you know, no one's thought of before. You ever hear the saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it? Now, there's a reason they say that. And a lot of these people who are under the impression that, oh, you know, the old people, they need to get up to speed with today. And I always laugh at that because I think the exact opposite. I think maybe we need to slow down and get back to them. If you think that, you know, one of these young bucks or these new guys have some brilliant scheme and brilliant idea and it's new and it'll change everything, I think you're fooling yourself to not consider that maybe these old guys, our elders, maybe they've seen that before. Maybe they've been down that road. Maybe they know where that leads. You know, things like our Constitution were put into place because of that very reason. We don't want to go back in time. You know, what the society and the law of the land and the ways of life that we put together were new. And they weren't something that any other place had seen before. And it's what gave us our prosperity and our success. What made us the strongest nation in the world. Now, why you would want to move away from that is beyond me. And I guess the point of this video is to try to relay that life, you know, it's a work in progress, always, and it always should be. The moment you think you know everything is the moment you don't know anything at all. And we should always be trying to better ourselves. If you have lived a lifestyle of, you know, exotic and, you know, exciting and sex, drugs, rock and roll type